morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Thursday the 26th of August. Jump straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, positive start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 48,464 to continue the run at the first major resistance level at 49,784. Plenty of support from the broader market is going to be needed for Bitcoin to break out from 49,500 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level, resistance at 50,000 to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, we've got the 23.6% fib at 54.73 and the second major resistance level at 55.76. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level 47.672 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 47. Second major support level sits at 46.352. Looking at MACD, slight widening of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day. No signs of any bearish cross imminent, so that's positive for Bitcoin. On the EMAs, 50s converged on the 100, so need to look out for direction there. Inconclusive as yet. A pull away of the 50 from the 100 would support further upside. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 48,464, move back through to 49,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Across Ethereum against the US dollar, been a choppy start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 3186 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 3292. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ethereum to break out from 3250 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 3300 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, you should see Ethereum target 23.6% fib at 3369 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2355. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 3123 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should continue to avoid sub 3000 levels. Second major support level at 3017 should limit any downside. Looking at MACDs, slight widening of the bullish histogram at the turn of the day. Again, no signs of a bearish cross, so monitor that through the day. On the EMAs, 50s avoided a narrowing on the 200, so a further closing in on the 100 would support further upside, so look out for direction. They're currently inconclusive as well. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 3186, move back through to 3250 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play. Across the Litecoin against the US dollar, bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the 23.6% fib at 178 and the pivot at 175 to continue the run at the first major resistance level at 182. Plenty of support is going to be needed for Litecoin to break out from this morning's high 180.36. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Litecoin target 190 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 185. Fall back through the 23.6% fib and through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 172 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid the second major support level at 166. Looking at the MACDs, similar trend, widening of the bullish histogram at the turn of the day, so that's positive for Litecoin early on, so look out for direction there. On the EMAs, 50 has narrowed marginally on the 200 and the 100, so look out for a further narrowing and a possible bullish cross that would support further upside. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the 23.6% fib and through the pivot at 175 and move back through to 180s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, bullish start. Going to need to Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 1.1533 to continue the run at the first major resistance level at 1.1984. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ripple's XRP to move back through to 1.19. So barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level and resistance at 1.2 should cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP target 1.25s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.2228. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 1.1290 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid the 38.2% fib at 1.0659. Second major support level at 1.0839 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, similar trend again, widening of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day. That's a positive for Ripple's XRP, so look out for further direction there. On the EMAs, 50 has flattened on the 100 and the 200, while the 100 has narrowed marginally on the 200, so need to keep an eye on that through the morning. A widening of the 50, a pullback as it were from the 100 and the 200 would pressure Ripple's XRP. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 1.1533 and move back through to 1.19 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play.